Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I was thinking for quite some time when I was going to be here as to which story from so many experiences in my life should I pick, because I wanted it to be something really that stands out, something really that is special, not run of the mill, not very common kind of experiences. And the theme that we have for speaking is idea to action. So I just thought, let it be a story which absolutely stands out when I look back. It comes to me still as a very profound experience that gave me a massive kind of satisfaction as a human being. It gave me a deep peace as a human being at a very different level. So let me narrate that story to you. The intent of sharing the story here is because it kind of expresses my belief that if you have a very clearly cut out goal that is supported by an undying effort and which has a foundation of a greater cause which involves good of so many human beings, it always wins. So it was a routine evening back in 2008, that horrific, dreadful late evening in 2008, when I was possibly somnolent in my comfort. I was about to sleep in my pampering bed, and that's when like life once again kicked in the back and kicked very hard. I got some very weird SMS on phone saying there are some stray firing incidences in Mumbai and that people should avoid going to South Mumbai. So obviously, I sprung out of the bed, went to the TV, put it on just to understand what was happening. And what I was seeing was very weird, very confusing at the same time, obviously unpleasant because there were some firing incidences, but they were scattered. Nobody kind of at that time was really knowing what was happening. And it was very, very confusing. But somehow my sixth sense was telling me that something possibly very, very ugly is going to unfold. And I was hoping against the hope that this sixth sense, the tap of that sixth sense which is coming to me, really proves is proven to be wrong. And unfortunately, it wasn't to be so. So for the next few hours, I kept on coming back to TV to see what's an update, and things kept on getting worse. The kind of violence, the sporadic, those incidences kept on spreading. But still, it was very unclear. It was still quite confusing because nobody was able to know really what was happening. It was very unusual, and it did not take a few hours, more than few hours, to understand what it was. It was a horrific situation, as all of us know. Locations in Mumbai like Taj Hotel, Trident, CST stations were under tremendous kind of heinous violence, and uh, it ended up being a sick dance actually of evil that started playing its ugly opera to the whole world. Any human being who was in senses, who had empathy, who had the right heart and mind, was very, very unhappy with this. And just like all Indians, all the sane human beings on this planet, I was also very, very anguished. And what unfolded is, for hours after hours and hours after hours, it kept on going and it kept on going worse for next at least 48 odd hours, as we know, until the drama ended, leaving tremendous amount of pain, violence, bleeding, bloods for all of us like human beings. And then what unfolded in the next few days after that is, I could see that a sense of fear, sense of insecurity, and sense of doubting, sense of suspicion about one another started coming into society. So I was thinking, I was quite an unrest, feeling pain, anguished about it. I was thinking, can I not do anything as a common man to alleviate this pain, at least to say that I protest this heinous crime? Can I not do something which will kind of heal the wounds that were there? And like all humans, like Indians, I was also in pain. While my mind started thinking, I was also busy with multifaceted life, including a demanding work. But my mind kept on thinking that what I can do. And in a few days, I was narrowing down on doing a marathon run and I was clearly envisaging, I was visualizing that if I get about few thousand human beings together to denounce this, to run together, to show that solidarity and faith, that could be possibly my contribution to respond to this. But how do you do that? Because obviously life was testing. Uh, uh, I hardly use word but here I had no resources. To make the challenge even worse or possibly more tougher to me, I was in India very recently after spending about 10 years with my wife and 2 kids. So I myself did not have an ecosystem. I did not have any social connects to tap into for this cause. So I didn't know where to start, how to go about it, how to even organize a marathon. So everything was kind of birds in bush. But I had a very clear resolve, very clear resolve, backed up by a very great cause, as I said. So I had to act very soon, one thing at a time, many things at a time. I started talking to people, telling them about what I want to do, and it was an experience that, when somebody is seeing something very clearly, like I was envisaging, I was visualizing what I want to do, but it was very haze to people. So it was becoming like somebody is listening to an insane person. And I must have spoken to maybe 50, 60, 70, 80 people before I got one person who said, yes, I want to back with you. I want to back you. I want to work with you. He was one of the school friends whom I coincidentally met there after about 30 years. Fortunately, he was one there who was grounded in the soil, who had the right connects. And it was first time that kind of universe said to me, that I bless you. So things started moving. From 2, we became 3 and 4 and 5. That was not much difficult because of obviously the background that he had there. So very soon, in about 10 to 12 days, we were a team of 15 fantastic, amazing people coming from different backgrounds, a charged up team, all wanting to share this vision. So days in and days out, we were all kind of like CEOs, we were brand ambassadors, we were T-boys, we were loaders, unloaders. To make it tougher, like I said, we did not have the means, but when we had 15 people, they had their own connects. Things started rolling. We started getting help. You must have read, possibly many of you, Who Moved My Cheese. Fortunately, I had read that book, and much earlier in my life, I started practicing that book. And I always move my own cheese before somebody else moves it, or possibly life moves it. So I thought this was time that life was telling me that, Sandeep, you have to throw your cheese and rediscover. And that is how I was seeing it. So I made silos and sub-silos. What I needed, it was very tiny. What I needed was a mountain. But obviously, with all this system, slowly things started happening. I nourished the positive belief that I had. And I told my subconscious that this is going to happen. You just have to walk through the process. It's going to happen. You just have to be like a train which is moving. You don't have to bring the stations. You just have to keep moving, and the stations will come. You will reach the destination. So that was a belief, and miracle, as we say, happens. I was working for about 8 or 9 hours after my office hours, sleeping nights after night for 4 or 5 hours, and the same thing happened with the whole team. So one after the other, things kept on happening. It was still not a cakewalk. Few of us went to Pune to see and learn a few things from Pune Marathon. And as the luck would have, it possibly wanted to test my last notch of my grit and my determination. I had an accident. I was knocked over by a vehicle and a car went over my feet. Even if we had a nice team now, we just self-fired, self-delegated, it was not possible for me that I was out of action at that time. So I had to defy it. The tendency that I have developed to push myself out of comfort zone, the subconscious by then, which was fired, refused to give in. Doctor said, you have to take rest for at least about 3 to 4 weeks. I refused. I continued to do what I was doing, working for 12 hours and then putting in 7, 8 hours along with the team, and things started rolling. The whole team was working, forgetting hunger, forgetting thirst. We were sensing the fragrance of clouds, though far away. And we started not only chasing the rain clouds, but we started attracting them because of the way the things were happening. Very soon, we started getting sponsors. We started getting NGOs. It was like universe is saying tathastu to us in a louder voice. So in a matter of about 2.5 hours, the dream that started looking like a daydream of a one common tiny person like me culminated into a massive triumph of about 7,000 plus people who came together shoulder to shoulder from different caste, language. They defied the fear. They danced, they sang, they ran against violence. And this was kind of a tremendous victory of a mass of mankind, positive energy to the evil. So that's it. Thank you.